Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Kerbal Space Program. We are hot off the heels of a lunar orbit mission for some tourists that ended in some more exciting re-entry than intended. But what this means is we are fresh out of contracts, gotta go find something new to do. I put a little bit of thought into this, not too much, but there's kind of two directions I would like to go in. One is I would like to figure out landing and how to build a lander and then land it on the moon. We have the technology now, we just need to be smart enough to do it. Although it might be useful to have docking technology as well for the lander stage, which we don't have yet, but I'm not sure. And the other thing is well, figure out docking and matching orbits and stuff like that. So that's why I'm looking at this mission. Rescue a Kerbal from the orbit of Kerbin. I thought reading these, rescue someone from orbit, I was like, of course, they're going to be in a spaceship. But actually, reading some of these briefings, it sounded like they're just sort of free-floating in space in an EVA suit. So we wouldn't even need to learn that much about docking to get them in. But anyway, this I think seems like it could be quite a bit of fun. Just a little bit of practice matching orbits, and we can use a smaller ship than we've been using. We don't need to get all the way to the moon. We don't need such a big lower stage, because we don't need to save that much fuel in our upper stage. And there's also this mission here about get some science data from space around Kerbin. It doesn't pay a ton, but 20,000 bucks is 20,000 bucks, right? So what my brain just fell out. What was I thinking about / doing? This man. I was just thinking about whether we should bring a large ship up, basically the same one we've been taking to the moon, and be like, oh well, we have more fuel than we need. Or if we should consciously try to choose a smaller one. I feel like the smaller ones have not really had that much. We've just had enough fuel to orbit and deorbit, not a lot to spare to adjust orbits and so on. So I don't know. Let's just take the big one up. It'll be a bit unnecessary, but who cares, right? So I'll just take both of these ones about orbit around Kerbin. And double check our contracts. Wait, shouldn't it? Well, okay, whatever. And the other thing is I wanted to look at some of these and see if there's anything that would be important for us to upgrade. Oh, the flagpole is fully upgraded. Very funny. But so we would need to do this to Kerbals on EVA can place flags. So when we want to take this thing about planting a flag on the moon, we'll have to pay a bunch of money for it. But no big deal. R&D, we can collect surface samples, so we'll want that as well, but it's not a huge priority. Wow, it's expensive. The tracking station, yeah, we don't really know what that's all about. It doesn't matter that much. The launch pad we could upgrade, but we're doing fine. We are not pressing the limits at all of what it is we can build with our current construction toys. Yeah, okay, I think we're basically done upgrading stuff for the foreseeable future until it's time to start planting a flag on the moon. So what we'll do is just load up the Advanced Rocket 2. No, let's load up the Moon Tour Bus. Right? Yeah, that's because we need a crew thing to put our rescued Kerbal into. But actually, before we do anything with this, I did want to check the tracking station here to see, can we see where is the person we're supposed to rescue? They should be in orbit here, right? Somewhere? And yet, I don't see them. Wait, maybe they're in this low orbit here? Aha, endless debris, yes. Okay, so where... I can't fly it, So I can't, like... I was thinking I could just pretend to fly so I can see what sort of position we're in, but okay. We're at, like, very low orbit. Periapsis of 72 kilometers, apoapsis of 81. So, it's not a circular orbit, which makes some sense. It's pretty close, but I was just thinking about like what I know about how to rendezvous with something in orbit, and it seems like it would be a little bit easier if it were a circular orbit. The general idea is you want to be at the same place they are, at the same speed they are, basically. But that's a lot of degrees of freedom, right? 3 degrees of where they can be in space, 3 dimensions of that. And another 3 dimensions of how fast they're going. You know, a velocity vector in each of the directions. So a way typically to do that is to get into an orbit that is shaped the same as theirs, so that you'll be like... Imagine we could get into an orbit with the same apoapsis and periapsis, but be like over here. We would sort of be tracing out the same path around the planet forever as he is. And then we just make a slight adjustment. We need to catch up along that path. And we just slightly largen or shrinken, what awful words, our orbit. So that we're no longer in the same orbit. Because you can't really go around the exact same orbit, but faster to catch up. You have to adjust your orbit to be a bit shorter, to make it a bit lower to make it faster, or a bit higher to make it slower. Either catch up to or be caught up by the thing you want to rendezvous with, and then readjust your orbit to be in the same speed they are once you get close, and then you can do the transfer. Okay. So I guess that's the idea. It would be easier if the orbit were circular, but it's not a huge deal. And we just want to basically take this very same ship, but put a mystery goo thing on the outside to collect this science data, I guess. So let's save this. And, oh, we still need to fix the decoupling somehow, right? There we go. The engine was firing in the wrong time. Okay. Alright. We've put Jeb in control of this. I guess that's fine. I wouldn't mind having Jeb gain some experience. Have another pilot available who can do more complicated SAS maneuvers. And we shouldn't need anything too complicated for this just orbital flight. So fine, you win, Jeb. He keeps volunteering, and we finally accepted him. Our heading is north, so we're going to press D to go east. I assume, yeah, he's in an equatorial or more or less equatorial orbit. Okay. The only remaining question is, like, we still have a bit of trouble controlling this ship well enough. I could throttle up more and give myself more control over the pitch and so on, but I don't think that's really necessary. We'll just keep throttle at a third. Anyway, and try to use the boosters as efficiently as we can. We haven't done so well in the past. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. But it's not a humongous deal. We have plenty of extra fuel. We just need to not explode. Little tiny midget turn here. To the right. Okay, a bit more, please. Yeah, that looks like, what, 85 degrees now? And we're heading perfect 91. Not perfect, I guess we'd rather be 90, of course, but it's fine. Alright, stop rolling, please. I command you, ship. No more rolling. There we go. And let's tilt over a bit more. How's our apoapsis? Is 20 kilometers? Alright, let's tip over some more. Correct the roll. Oh, leave the... No, SAS off is fine. I want to tip some more. apoapsis is much higher than necessary right now. Can we just like tip over all the way now? Not really. Alright, we're gonna get much higher than we needed. Again. Oh well. We'll just leave these thrusters off. Yeah, so we've got some correcting of our orbit to do, but at least we're at a good inclination. We won't have to do a big adjustment on that. We stayed roughly at 90. We got much higher than necessary. So I feel like we just need to start packing less fuel in those boosters. It's actually like costing us fuel in the upper stage to have those things last as long as they do. We're doing fine as far as like how high they get us, or how hard they push. They seem like they get us to where we're going in a reasonable amount of time. They just get us to the wrong place. So if we put less fuel in them, our apoapsis should end up a bit lower without having to do such an outrageous pitch over. So let's just add a maneuver here to burn prograde to extend the orbit. So we do have to extend the other end of this. 171, 187, yeah, that looks pretty good. So that's a minute 47 of burn in the retrograde direction. Prograde direction. Yeah, let's turn off the SAS and try to get yourself oriented towards prograde. We don't have a pilot here who can do that automatically, so there's a bit more manual. Stay focused, a bit more manual maneuvering. There we go. And of course, prograde is going to be a bit closer to the horizon by the time we get there. So how far away are we from this node? 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll be there real soon. And it's a 2-minute long burn almost, so we want to burn when we're about a minute away. Start burning about a minute away. See you later, debris. Let's do that science now. We're in space above Kerbin for sure. Alright, we'll save it. Okay, let's get back to our actual prograde, please. But let's actually be a bit, not quite prograde. Let's, oops, I'm going the wrong way. Get towards the horizon, will you? Okay, we're burning a bit late, I think. Actually, it looks fine. And yeah, let's go. Yeah, we got pretty nicely right on the horizon at about the time we wanted to fire the engines. So we just need to get the other end of the orbit to be an orbit, and then once we're there, we'll try to get it to 73 kilometers, or what is the other side? 80, I think? Oh, what I want to do is set this as my target. Okay, and now it shows me both ends of that guy's... Where the heck is my apoapsis here? Okay, whatever. Let's unset the target for now. We just know that we want to get to 70 or 80 kilometers. And pay more attention to what... Why is it like... Am I burning the wrong way? No. It just was taking like forever for this orbit to do something. It seems like this counter was not going down very much. There's our periapsis. Stop. Alright. I must have accidentally set our plan to maneuver way too high. I don't know how I did that. Maybe I grabbed it when I was trying to look at this guy's orbit. I don't know. So our periapsis is a bit high. We could try to adjust that by... Because our apoapsis is 94 kilometers. And we're trying to rendezvous with this guy, set as target, who's apoapsis is 81 kilometers. So we wanna come down. Yeah, can we spin the ship a bit faster towards retrograde, please? There we go. Oh, and let's close this encounter node. Good. And we can just burn a tiny bit to bring this down to 81 kilometers, or really 82. Ah, stop. Jeez. I hit the wrong button to throttle adjust, and now I went... Alright, well actually, our periapsis is now 77 kilometers. And our target's apoapsis is 81. Where's his periapsis? Here it is, 72 kilometers. So we can burn just a tiny bit more retrograde to bring our periapsis down to 72. 72.1 ideally. That's 73. 72.1. Good enough. I'll take it. So now what we're going to do is, we've matched that part of the orbit. We're going to float around to there, and then when we're there, we will try... Where's his apoapsis? 81.9. So when we get to our periapsis, we're going to burn retrograde to lower our apoapsis to match his. Right now our periapsis matches his periapsis, and we just need to get our apoapsis matching his, and we'll be all set. So let's warp to... What is this? Intersect 1. Separation 1.2 thousand kilometers. Interesting. So it's telling us our orbit is going to roughly intersect with his, but we'll be off by 1,000,000 meters. Okay, well, whatever. Our inclination of orbit is a little bit off, I guess. We could fix that with a slight burn in the normal direction here? Maybe anti-normal? I still don't know exactly which is which. Let's check real quick in the manual. Space travel. Orbital maneuvers. No, orbital maneuvers. Adjusting inclination. Normal pushes the orbit north. So when we're at the ascending node, we want to push our orbit south, so we want to burn anti-normal. So let's just yeah, and we're already past our descending node, so let's get over to the ascending node. We'll put a warp to here. Can I like hide this dang tour bus debris? I don't know, warp to here. And we want to get anti-normal, which is it's going to be up on this side of the ball or this side, I'm just not sure which. Alright, the ship swings around real slow at this, with just the reaction wheel turning it. And no thrusters. So this is anti-normal, right? Let's just double check. And that's what we want. We want anti-normal. I just want to make sure that's what we actually have. Space, travel, orbital, shaping up. No. Adjusting inclination. If we burn anti-normal, we will go... Oh, anti-normal is the one with the things sticking out of it, right. And going... And that'll push us south, and that's what we want. And that's this one. Oh, wow, the time didn't stop while we were looking at the manual. I thought it was going to. Clearly, I should have paused. Okay, can we bring that? That's close-ish. We are not far away from our target. And we're pointing the right direction. So let's just Make a tiny little burn here. And watch this come down. Okay, just keep a light finger on the throttle. That'll do. Great. So now our ascending node is like 0.1 degrees, which I think is perfectly fine. So now what we want to do is at our apoapsis, which is 81. No, that's his apoapsis. Where's ours? Ah, we want to get to our periapsis and then burn retrograde to bring our apoapsis down. Now, I'm sure we could take a shortcut, because what we're going to do is get our orbit to match his, and then make it unmatch in a way that causes us to catch up to him. Oh, wow. We are out of fuel in this stage, like, exactly. That's pretty convenient. Let's just jettison it. And another stage to turn on the orbital stage engine, which I sometimes forget. Cool. So at our periapsis, we want to burn retrograde a bit. Anyway, so I'm sure we could skip the step of regularizing our orbit and then deregularizing it and just like sort of float around like this until we're sort of close to catching up to him. It's showing us some intercepts. Oh yeah, those are his position. So we'll intersect with his orbit here, and when we do, he's going to be way over here. So it would be... How would we best... I think we're like on the opposite side of the planet right now from our target. So what I think this means is we want to make our orbit get quite a bit, rather than bringing it closer, which will keep us on the opposite side of the planet forever. We want to make our orbit actually match his less, so that he catches up to us more quickly, is my thinking. Where is this, where is the target, by the way? Over here somewhere, right? Yeah. I guess we can't really control this at all until we get to it. I kind of thought we could view it from his perspective to see how things are going, but I guess we can't. Alright, so here comes our periapsis. And I want to actually burn prograde here. To... Where the heck even is prograde? Our heading is 181 degrees. Why don't I see prograde? Shouldn't it be around here? Oh no, because we're still pointed normal from the planet. Wait, that's radial. We want to go up here, I guess? That's retrograde. Alright, so we went the wrong way around this ball, but it's fine. We can just do another 180 degrees. I see. The heading is the direction we're pointing, not the direction we're moving. Fair enough. This is normal if you wanted to adjust our inclination upwards. Northwards, I suppose, is a more accurate term. And stop. That's prograde. If we just adjust a tiny bit. Thank goodness I turned off sticky keys forever. Okay, and we just want to burn not too much here. Make our orbit a bit wider. Intersect. Here's our separation. So separation like it intersect 2. Where is intersect 2? Here? Separation 1.31. So it is going down as we make this burn. Now let's burn quite a bit more. We want to make things go faster. Make sure our periapsis doesn't like dip into the atmosphere, but it's not. Intersect 1 million meters, so this is the one we're bringing down the most. Alright, let's gas it up. Yeah, look at how we're letting him catch up to us now in the second intersect. Throttle down, way down. Do some precise adjustments here. Stop. 7 kilometers. We should easily be able to maneuver from 7 kilometers away, right? Well, we could make it less though, right? Alright, we're now on like a collision course practically. But that's fine because we're gonna have to thrust retrograde as we catch up in order to match speed with him. So the fact that we're right now on course to fly by him a little bit. But we'll fix that with a retrograde burn as we approach. So let's just warp to here. And see if you can spot him here, sort of we're going the long way around to let him catch up to us on the next orbit. Wow, that looked cool. Alright. So that's our target position at intersect. Relative speed 350 meters per second. Well, our engine should easily be able to adjust that difference very quickly. So let's add a maneuver here where we burn retrograde by 350 meters per second, right? How long a burn is that? "30 seconds. Not too bad. And if we do, what's going to happen to our periapsis? Are we bringing ourselves back down into the atmosphere yet? No, but goodness, it is getting close. I guess that's because we're matching his orbit, and he is very close to the atmosphere, so fair enough. It's kind of cool, isn't it, how to, like... We burned prograde, nominally making our rocket go faster, right? But the effect that this had is it made our orbit slower. It takes longer to go around the planet because we're not as close to it anymore. So by speeding ourselves up at the right time, we caused ourselves to overall be slowed down enough that our target could catch up to us. Weird, right? Space is crazy. Okay, so let's time warp a bit here to get closer to the target position. Yeah, here's our guy. Look at this. We're lining up real nice with him. Okay, get out of time warp. That's our apoapsis. Okay. So let's burn gently now. And keep an eye on what? Our periapsis? Wait, where actually is it? Oh, there it is. That's fine. And our apoapsis is way out there in space. Alright, we need to burn a bit faster. We're not going to finish this burn in time if we don't. Am I... Oh, I'm pointed the wrong way. Oh my gosh, I forgot to get retrograde. Shoot. We just made things worse. Okay, yeah, I was thinking we had Jeb orient the ship, but we didn't. We were just burning in, like, completely the wrong direction. Sorry about that, dude. We'll catch you on a later lap, I guess. But right now, we are very close to his orbit, and therefore would like to burn retrograde to keep it that way. Ah, stop! Jeez, panicking. I'm overreacting. Okay. So he's still like close enough. 20 kilometers away from us. So what I'd like to do is just get our orbit down to match his as much as possible while we are nearby, and then we can make some very slight adjustments later once we're in a similar orbit and nearby to get us to an actual intersect course. Intercept course, I guess, is probably a better word. So his periapsis is 72 kilometers. We want to bring ours down to that. And get rid of this thing maneuver. Or wait, our apoapsis is what we want to bring down. Our periapsis is 60 kilometers? We seem to have overcooked something. But okay, right now, here we are. No, here's us, here's him. We're going to intersect 32 kilometers away at 48.9 meters per second here. And we're going faster or slower? I guess we're going the tiniest bit fast. No, slower. Our orbit is now lower than his, right? I can't tell, actually. I can't tell which direction we should burn to bring our orbit in line. It looks like we're going a bit faster than he is because we would slingshot. So let's try to burn retrograde, which is over here. Right? There it is. Try to burn a bit retrograde and see if we get the speed going the right. Nope, going the wrong way. Oh, that's because that's prograde, you idiot. Oh my gosh. Alright, turn off the SAS. Get that lined up properly. Stop. Our relative speeds are pretty close. Okay. So he's real nearby now. Just 33 kilometers away. Do we have any orbital problems that we need to address? Yes, our periapsis is way too low. Blech. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to need a little fine-tuning on this. And that's just for the matching orbits part. We haven't even gotten to getting him into the ship. I don't know, we're sort of close. But at any rate, I think it's probably a fine time to call an end to this episode. Finish up in the next episode and maybe do like some more strategic level stuff as well. If that turns out to go quickly, we can find some filler. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.